Okay. So first we will discuss, what are the things we are going to cover. What are the topics we are going to cover in this course. Okay. So first of all, welcome you all for joining, free workshop on API testing on a weekend as well. Yeah. Okay, we'll start it. So API testing course, we are dividing into a three parts. Okay. So one is manual approach. Second is automation approach. Next is framework. Okay. So we are dividing into three parts here. Okay. So in manual approach, so what we are going to learn and what we are going to learn in automation approach and what we are doing in a framework. Okay. So in manual approach, we are working with the REST services. We are testing a REST APIs by using a postman. Okay. So as you all know, or some of you might be a fresher, some of you might be already experienced in manual testing, or some of you may be working in a UI adoption. Okay. But yeah, uh, can you please go mute? Okay. Hmm. So here first we are starting with a manual approach. Okay. So why we are starting with a manual approach? So as you all know, whenever we are start working as an automation test engineer, as a UI test engineer, so once we are start writing the scripts, automation scripts, so what we will do, we will try to understand thoroughly the application by running it manually, right? Once we are familiar with the business requirement, once we are familiar with the applications, once we are familiar with the transactions, so then we will try to write into the scripts in automation. Okay. In similar way here also, so before whenever we are starting, starting also the automation part, so some of the newcomers, I mean to say freshers, or the one who is jumping from manual to the automation, were finding difficulty to understand it. Okay. So what we have done in this, so first year we are working with the postman. So postman is nothing but it's a tool to execute your test, REST APIs. Okay. So here first we are learning a postman tool completely. Okay. So before the postman, so we will be learning the very basic part of the API, like what is web URL, so what it contains, what is domain, what is protocol, what is parameter, what is path parameter, what is query parameter, what is endpoint, what we call as a resource, what is port number. If it is, whenever the developers are providing us the APIs, how we need to identify different parameters within that, and how we need to execute it. Okay. What are the importance of each and every parameter in the URL? Okay. What it is representing with respect to the service. So all the basics we are learning. Okay. So after learning the basic, we are learning about HTTP status codes months. So whenever we are executing APIs, we will come up with a different business code. Okay. Like a 200 series, 300 series, 400 series, 500 series, we will be coming with the different business codes. So what does it represent? Okay. So whenever we get a 200 status code, so what does it mean? Okay. Whenever we get a 500, so what does it mean? So learning completely about the HTTP status codes here. Okay. So after learning the HTTP status code, something we can also learn here with the HTTP methods. Okay. Methods and status codes will be learned together. Okay. HTTP methods. We have a list of sets, HTTP methods. So what is the importance of HTTP methods? What does it represent? Okay. So it is the functionality methods are doing. If we are using, so here whenever it comes to the methods, so we have a important some business method. Those are nothing but we can call a post method. We have a get method. We have a put method. We have a delete method. Okay, here and we can take. We have a put our patch method. Okay, still we have many lists here, but these are all the basic business requirement methods. Okay, this we can call it as an CRUD operation. Okay, or to perform the basic business operation, these methods are very important. Okay, understanding the importance of all the HTTP methods and understanding the importance of a status code and understanding the meaning of the each and every status code. And here we are working with the each and every method here. Basically, we are working with the CRUD operation here. Okay. So before that, we are also learning one more thing, that JSON language. We are also learning JSON. Okay. In JSON, what you are going to learn? Like, what is JSON? Okay. What is JSON? Why we are using JSON? Okay. What is JSON? Why we are using JSON? And how to create a JSON object. How to create JSON object. And how to create JSON array. How to create a complex data. Okay. How to work with nested data. Okay. And basically completely about the JSON language we'll be learning here. Okay, what is the importance of JSON and why we are using JSON? Because in the market we also have other languages in order to communicate. Okay, so why we are going with a JSON nowadays? What is the importance of JSON? So all those things we'll be learning, and after learning what is the importance of this, then we are learning into the JSON language completely. Like first starting with the JSON syntax, understanding the JSON syntax, and start creating a JSON variables and JSON objects, JSON array, and creating a list using all these things, and how we can access the JSON data. Okay, accessing of a JSON object, array, complex data, how we can travel through the JSON data will be learning here. Okay, after completing this JSON, then we are jumping into the Postman tool understanding. Okay, first we will be learning all the basic prerequisite, what is required in order to execute our APIs. Okay, so once after completing all the required content, then we are learning Postman tool. First we are understanding the Postman tool here. Okay, means what is the functionality tools can contain, what are the available functionalities in the Postman, how we can make use of those functionality in order to test our REST services. Okay, so how we can maintain different environments. If you are a fresher, just listen this. If you are already working, means maybe you might have come across this scenarios, right? In real time we will be working with the multiple environments, not only the single environment we'll be maintaining. We have a test environment, we have a pre-prod environment, we have a prod environment, right? So how we can test our services against a different environment, how we can maintain our data. So all the things will be learning you. First we are understanding Postman tool, then we are start executing our the services, and we'll try to complete all the required scenarios in the Postman. Okay, so here we'll be covering a variable concepts, how to handle the local variable, how to handle the global variable, how to handle the like in the Postman. So how to handle local variable, and how to handle global, and how to handle collection level variable, how to handle request level, so on. We have many topics under this. Okay, etc. Okay, and then how to perform data driven testing here, working with the environment concept. Okay, and how to work with the how to achieve data driven. Okay, and working performing validation on response. Okay, so to perform the validation we need to write a script here. Okay, to perform the validation on the responses, working with the mock server. What is the importance of mock server here, and working with mock servers, and working with the variables concepts. Okay, I already covered it. Okay, and working with collection, and it's important. Okay, collections, and it's important, so on. Okay, basically all the topics will be covered in this, and also will integrate a report here. Okay, and also will integrate report. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so after completing all the required scenarios in the postman, you are very much comfortable to understand what is, APIs, what are the parameter it contains, because here we will be covering all the parameters, how to work with a path parameter, how to work with a query parameter, how to handle the different variables, how to handle the different environments, how to work with all these methods, how to handle these methods, what are the information required in order to successfully get the response from all the CRUD operations, means all these CRUD methods, all those things you'll be very much familiar in the postman. Okay, so after covering all these scenarios in the postman, and how to perform the validation on the responses, how we can traverse in the responses, all those things you will be very much familiar in the postman. Okay, so after covering in the postman, then finally we are jumping into the automation part. Okay, so here in the automation, so here in the automations we are using rest assured library, rest assured library. Okay, we are using rest assured library in order to achieve the task which we have achieved in the postman. The same thing here also we are achieving, but by not using a tool, by using a library. Okay, so you might have heard, right, while you are working in a selenium, what you will use the selenium, right? So in the similar way here we are using a rest assured. Okay, so in this rest assured, it's an a Java library. It contains predefined methods, classes, interfaces. Okay, so it contains all the predefined classes, interfaces, methods, everything. Okay, by using this library we are achieving the task that we need to work with our APIs. Okay, here we are using a tool here to perform the action. Here we are using a rest assured library. Okay, just similar way we need to add the jar of this library in order to use the methods and classes and interfaces providing from this. By using that we are not going to write much code here, everything predefined here. We have to just have a knowledge, like which class we need to import, which class, which method we need to use here, which interface we need to use here. Just we should have a knowledge about it in order to handle different scenarios in automation. Okay, so here we are using this is rest assured in order to work with the automation. Okay, so here we'll be working with all the here basically we'll be using a rest assured official document. In that document they has listed all the scenarios in order to work with. APIs. Okay, means always it's we have to refer the document and we need to work on. Okay, so then we can cover maximum scenarios what are all we can achieve using a rest assured. So here we are basically referring a rest assured official document. There what are the scenarios they are specified, all the maximum scenarios will be covering. Okay, so after covering this automation part, then here what we will do, we will be creating a separate classes in order to work with the separate scenarios. So in the framework, so what we will do, so we can combine all the topics and we will try to handle our we will be trying to handle more dynamical way, like how we will handle in a real time. And after completion of the framework, we'll be integrating with the git plus Jenkins. Okay, and here we'll using a Halio report. Okay, so here will will integrate Allure report in order for the reporting part. Then to store our code securely, make use of an Git, and we will execute our scripts in the CI bar CD tool. Okay, this one end-to-end scenario will execute in the framework. Okay, so this is what the just course structure. So how we are following, maybe they will send you the course details. In that all the topics will be specified. You just go through that. Okay, then maybe they will send you the link through the mail. In that all the course details will be specified, what are the topics we are going to cover under the automation as well, because it's a big list. If I can sit and write here, it will take a simply a time, right? So you just go through that. If you have any doubts, come back to me. Okay, so now let's discuss something about our API. So what is API? You can make use of a chat. Okay, if you can't unmute yourself and speak,
Hello,
you
madam.
can make use of a chat. Yes.
Can I ask question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So in order to do this API testing, are there
Mm-hmm.
any requirement like we need to know this kind of language or we should have some prerequisite stuff?
Yeah, like for the postman and all, it's not required. Anyone will be teaching you from scratch. Okay, but for the rest assured, yes,
Okay.
you should have a basic. Sorry, I missed to tell that. Thanks for reminding me. So here for the rest assured, as I told you guys, this is in a Java library. Okay, so we are creating our script. We are working with a Java here. Okay, so we need to know before jumping into the automation, at least we should have a knowledge of a core Java.
Okay.
Okay. So core Java knowledge is must required. So what I suggest, my previous past students also. So, till completion of this postman and all, you will get some time around, at least 15 to 10 days, you will get a time. In that, I will just suggest them to go through the core Java videos. Nothing much, like what is variables and data types and array concept, and access modifier is very important. Access modifier, okay, and something operations, we have right operations, and oops concepts. Okay, uh, oops concept and collection collection and exception handling. exception handling. Okay, so this much if you can go through that, that is more than enough. Not any advanced level of coding is required, since these are all, all prerequisite, predefined classes and method, like how we handle in the Selenium, right? Not as tough as Selenium as well. It's a very easy, believe me. The API testing is, very easier than the UI testing. Okay, it's very easy. If once you start working on this, you will feel that. Okay, not much coding is required, like how we do in the Selenium, right? So not that much is also required, but yes, it's good to have all this basic knowledge before jumping into the automation. Yes, we should have a core Java knowledge. Okay, this much if you cover, that is enough. Access modifier, obviously access modifier, as you guys know, this is very important topic. Okay, here, in the access modifier is the topic where we are learning the accessibility of our classes which we are creating, the accessibility of our method that we are creating, accessibility of the variables, till which class, whether it is available within my class, or whether it is available within my package, or whether it is available my outside the class, whether it is available outside the package. What is the access level of a class that I am creating? Okay, maybe you're creating one service in one class, so you have to provide the proper access to that, like whether that service is meant for your own class or outside of the class, or own package or outside of the package. So understand carefully about the access modifier. I will also be, taking 1 or 2 days to brush up all these concepts. Okay, but you should have at least a little bit of knowledge on that, so that because I don't want to waste the time by sitting in all these Java concepts, because these are very core Java basics concepts. And you put effort whenever we are learning the Postman. Just go through one day one topic. Okay, when I'm starting with the basics things in the Postman, and when I'm covering API testing basics, at least go through the single topic each day and cover the these required topics. And when I complete this Postman, I will just take a 1 or 2 days in order to talk about all these concepts. Okay.
Okay, madam. So
Okay. Mhm.
same thing can't be substitute with the Python.
Python, maybe rest assured will not support for the Python. We have to make use of any just other libraries, because I never worked on Python. Yes, we have to use other libraries, I guess. Shiva.
Okay, okay, okay. So rest assured and all, it's already predefined functions, which is
Mhm.
well suited for
Yeah.
the. Okay, okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it's similarly, like in Selenium also, you have, right, all the predefined functions, classes, and interfaces. You just make use of that, right, after using
Correct.
your dependencies. The similar
Mm.
way here also we are working. We just have to add the rest assured dependency in order to make use of the predefined classes and methods which is available in that. Just we are
Okay, okay,
importing that and we are making use of that functionality here.
okay, okay. And my
Okay.
subsequent question is,
Mhm.
so if you go to that uh, topic,
Okay.
okay, so here framework means, are you going to teach about
Project.
the GitHub and Jenkins, how we are going to utilize here, or what exactly we will do in the framework?
Yes, Shiva. Like see how in real time it works. Means we will be having in a project. That project will be integrated with the reporting part and GitHub and Jenkins, right?
Uh,
So usually in real time we will not execute in a local. We have to execute in a CI/CD tool like Jenkins, right?
correct,
So
correct.
we can follow this flow. Just the flow I will show, because in real time this is how we need to follow, right?
Okay, okay,
So
okay,
just I'm trying to give an exposure how it works in real time.
okay, okay,
Okay, so framework is nothing but you can consider the project. We are working it on
okay,
project finally, and we are just looking into this part here.
okay. And then when we use Postman, are you
Mhm.
going to use any predefined website or something like that, API server, or I don't know. I'm just asking.
Mhm. Means you're asking which APIs you're going to work with,
Yes,
which
yes,
server. Okay,
yes.
okay. So yeah, yes. Okay, good question. Fine. So what happens is here, the Postman is also one real-time application, as you guys know, correct? So the good thing is, the Postman application also providing us the APIs. Okay. So first, we'll try to take the Postman APIs only, because whenever we start working on the services of the Postman, so we could able to see how it's working in real time. I mean to say, maybe we are taking, there's an functionality called workspace functionality. So as soon as we are taking the workspace API, and whenever we start working on this workspace API, so maybe I'm just creating a new workspace by taking a create workspace. So whenever I'm start working on that service, I could able to see in the Postman application only the workspace is created or not in real time. Okay, which means that whatever the service I'm running here, it should reflect in the application. So to see that, we have to make use of any real time applications like a Postman or GitHub or some Jenkins. So we have to take those services. So first, what I will do, I will take a Postman APIs in order to show you guys how it actually works. For example, in real time also, you will be working with some application. Whenever you start working with all this business operation, maybe you're creating one account. Whenever you hit the service, the account has to create in your application. And whenever you update something about the account information has to update in the application. Okay. So to show that exposure-ness, what I will do, first I will take a Postman APIs only to execute and to show you guys how it is reflecting in real-time application. And then we will slowly move on to the GitHub APIs also we will work on. And then we'll make use of Jenkins APIs also we work on. Just I will try to cover what all, I will just try to take maximum of real-time applications APIs to demonstrate it. Okay. 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 So now we are talking about all the concepts. No, that is fine. That is secondary now. Okay. But now, what is the meaning of API? Why we need to learn this? Where we use the APIs in real time means in our day-to-day life, where we are using the API. Have you observed ever? Are we using APIs now? Today, have you used API? What is API? If it is wrong, also no, not a problem. Okay. Even we were not knowing when we were studying, right? Yeah. It's just make use of a chat, guys. If you can't unmute yourself and speak, you make use of a chat. Yeah, sure, Kumar.
So
Yes.
it's like a gateway. Through that we can communicate one app to another application.
It's a communicate with the one service to another service. That
Okay,
API
okay.
before going to that real time, that means UI design. So before that we check that API, the services
Mm,
is hit to correct or not, and that output is
okay,
correct or not. Suppose if
okay,
anything we and update to API or add delete anything, it's reflected from the database. So
okay.
before going to UI, that means that application, we can
Mm,
check whether API, the services is working or not. And we can verify that a status code like HTTPS 500 or 200 is correctly input or not. So
okay,
we can
okay.
verify both. Correct.
Okay, this is, yeah, yes, okay. This is very high level of technical information. Okay, I'm simple. Like, I'm just asking where you are using a API in real time. Where you have used today.
Online transfer.
Okay, okay. Okay. So what is API meaning? So API meaning application programming interface, right? Application programming interface. Okay. Means it is an interface between two application. Okay. So let's say this is one application and this is one application. Okay. Maybe this application has built in Java language. This application has built in Python language. These two application trying to communicate each other. This two application is trying to communicate each other. Okay. For example, I know maybe Kannada. Okay, I know Kannada, and you guys know maybe Telugu or Hindi, so on language. If I speak in Kannada, do you guys understand it? No. Okay. If you guys speak in Hindi or Telugu, do I understand? No. Okay. So, in order to have a seamless communication between me and you guys, I'm using a English as an communication language here. Okay. In similar way, yet also this is one application, this is also one application. This application is communicating in Java language. This application is trying to communicate in Python language. Okay. So this application, what it is saying, it is not able to understand. This application, what it is responding, it is not able to understand because it is going in Java, it is coming in Python. Okay. So in order to have a seamless communication between these two applications, they introduced the concept of API in between. So this is how this interface is acting. Okay. So how API is acting here? Okay, what is available inside the API in order to understand these two application? So we are using a in order to send the request through the API, in order to get back the response through the API, we are using a JSON language. Okay. So this JSON language is language independent. Okay. Language independent. Remember, this JSON language is the language independent. Okay. Since it is a language independent, every language can able to understand this information. Okay. See, English is a language independent. So anybody can able to understand English now. That's why I'm also speaking in English. You are also responding in English. So that's why our communication is going smooth. So here also they have introduced application programming interface in order to communicate, and they are using a JSON language in order to send a request and get back the response because this JSON is a language independent. Okay. So since it is a language independent, anybody can able to understand. That's why before jumping into the API testing, okay, what we are learning a JSON. Okay. After learning JSON, then HTTP status code, then HTTP methods, then working with the postman. Okay. So here, this is one example. Okay. If I can give a real time example, guys, see, every day we are using API. Okay. In each and every application nowadays dependent on the API. That's why the API development is also booming, as well as API testing is also demanding in the market. You can open the Naukri and you can look into the job description. Okay. So each and every organization requires a candidate to have a knowledge on a API testing. Okay. See, maximum openings is on, API testing only. If you can go and check, all the organizations require a candidate to have a knowledge on a backend testing. Okay. So here, let's take a real-time example. You are, booking in a cab. You're using a Ola, correct? You are using a Ola. So in that, we are using a Google Map APIs in order to get the addresses, correct? And for example, your shopping cart. You're using a shopping cart like a Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, so this is an shopping cart application. So here you will be having a buy now button, right? Whenever you click on a buy now button here, multiple tags will be opened here, right? So pay with phone pay, pay with Google Pay, pay with etc. Some other Paytm. Okay. So whenever you click here, the buy now button, buy button, here you will be having a multiple Paytm or phone pay or Google Pay. Okay, so observe carefully. See, this is your Amazon. This is Paytm, phone pay, Google Pay. we'll be having a multiple options here, payment options. Okay, don't you think this phone pay is also a separate application? Okay, let me show you guys here. See here, this is my maybe this is my Flipkart. Okay, see, this is my phone pay application, this is my Google Pay application. Okay, see, this is also the separate website, this is also separate website, and this is also separate website. I've opened in the 3 tabs. Okay, so this is also different application, this is also different application, this is also different application. So how this application be integrated here? So how this application be integrated in the Flipkart? Okay, so whenever we are clicking on a buy now button, it is giving option like a phone pay, Google Pay, and Paytm. How it is happening in between phone pay to Amazon? Okay, they are integrating a API. Okay, so whenever you click on a buy button internally, okay, service will go to the phone pay application, and it will tell the phone pay application what it exactly want. Okay, and phone pay will process the request and response back and redirect the response back to the Amazon. We have experienced this, right? Every day we do this, but we have not observed that internally what's happening. Okay, now today maybe you're traveling to somewhere, you are opening your Ola or Uber, etc. Okay, and you will enter the current location. Whenever you click on the current location, immediately in the back end, what happens? The API call will happen to your, the API call will call to your Google Map. That's why you are able to get the address of a current location. Then whenever you click on the destination, the in the back end API call will go to your Google Map again. Okay, it will provide us the, as part of the response, it will provide us the address back. Okay, so here also we are using API. Okay, if you take any of the application, okay, let's take a make my trip. Okay, make my trip is there. Yeah, oh my god. Huh. Okay, make my trip. See here, you are traveling from Delhi to Bangalore and provided some date here and search it. Okay, whenever you start searching it, okay, it is giving us the list of AirAsia, AirAsia, Akasha Air, AirAsia, Indigo, so on. Okay, it is providing so on flights information here. Okay. So, don't you think, guys, this AirAsia is also a separate application? We also get this flight information in AirAsia application also. Akasha Air is also one more application, okay? And Indigo is also one more application, okay? So, all this flights information is also available in those applications, okay? But and also available here as well, okay? So how it is happening? How it's happening? Because this make my trip, okay, consuming or taking APIs from AirAsia, Indigo, Akasha Air. That's the reason the information available in Akasha Air or AirAsia, Indigo is also available in Make My Trip. Okay, so if you take any of the application, wherever we integrate one application to another application, okay, so in the back end, the APIs plays a major role. Okay, understanding about API and working as a API test engineer is very much demanding in the market now. Okay, so with respect to uh, job, otherwise with respect to your what is that? Yeah, with respect to your, if you want to demand some higher amount, yes, okay. So for everything, the knowing about and learning about API testing is very much important for nowadays market. Okay, so this is a basic information how it is happening. Okay, and someone maybe Suhas or something also has given a very technical information like, okay, yes, front end we will develop something, and here it's a front end. Whatever the information we provide in the UI, it will process in the backend. This is nothing but business logic, and then it will store it in the database. Okay, so here This is a UI. This is a business logic is nothing but your API, business logic, and here it's a database. Okay. So the you know this is UI means user interface. Whatever the value you provided to here, then it will capture through the API, and here it business logic will be available here. Okay, so all the business logic will processes here, then finally it will store it in the database. This is how the flow works. Okay, we'll learn more about this once we start with the actual demonstrations. Okay, so this is how the flow goes. Okay, UI, backend logic, and then finally database. Okay, so understood this match, this real-time example understood, right? Wherever we are using these APIs and all. And also one more good example is nowadays you have observed, right? I mean to say, like whenever you see any of the application login functionality, okay, this is application's login functionality. You might have observed, you have to provide your username and password. You have to provide the username and password and click on register button. Click on register button. Okay, or else instead of that they will also given like this, mm, login 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 with Google, or login login with login using login using Facebook. Okay, so like this they're given an option. You might have seen that, right? You might have seen like this option. Okay, so they're given here, provide the username, password, and register, or else login using Google, login using Facebook. So what they're doing it here for the login register activity here, so they are consuming Google APIs here, they are consuming Facebook APIs here. Okay, so if they don't have these two account, means what they're doing it here is they're just consuming a Google APIs and Facebook API here. So why they're consuming here? See, if we have a Facebook account means obviously we have, Facebook has already authenticated our information by taking all the information like a first name, last name, mobile number. It's verified my mobile number. It's verified my email address. Everything it has done already. Already it has done the verification here. If I have a Google account means it is also done all the verification, right? We will go off with the multiple pages in order to verify our information. Then only we are a Google customer, then only we are Facebook customer. So this application, XYZ application, what it is doing is it is giving one option. Okay, it is giving one option like what's happening. Huh. It is giving one option here. So what option it is giving this XYZ application? Anyhow, let's consume a Google API or Facebook API. If the particular user is already a user of the Facebook, already a user of the Google, okay, then why again we need to waste the time in verifying that customer? If they are using these two accounts, if they are using Facebook account means obviously Facebook could have already verified that particular user. Maybe is a authenticated user only. We don't have any doubt about that customer. Yes, let allow him to directly log into the application. Okay, this is what the behind logic of the application developer. But being a user, what we will think, this XYZ application is very easy to use. In single tap it is allowing me to log in into the application like that. We feel, right? Means they are creating a user friendliness, but the backend logic behind that, they are thinking like that. If they're already authenticated user, obviously if they have an account means they are authenticated user only. Let allow them to make use of it, my application. Okay, if if by any chance they don't have this too, then they have to provide a complete authentication information in order to use their application. Okay, so in order to achieve like this kind of user friendliness, yes, okay, they are using a APIs. Here, they are consuming a Google API, they are consuming a Facebook API in order to create a user friendliness of a authenticated user, because they already spent much time here for the verification purpose. Okay, so that's why they are consuming these APIs in order to create a user friendliness application here. Okay, much more, we have a lot of users through the APIs. Every users, by going forwards, we'll be discussing some other users as well. But you should have some idea, okay, in real time also, where we are using, how it's happening. So from now onwards, you start thinking in this way. Whenever you open any of the application, if they, if you find that this option like login using Google, if you open your Instagram, they also have this functionality. If you can see there, they have a username and password and login into the Insta, as well as or login using your Facebook account. Okay, something they have. Okay, they're consuming a Facebook API. Okay, so just start observing this kind of information whenever you trying to book cabs, how the API call is happening, how it is going, okay, how it is redirected to the phone pay, Google Pay, how the call is happening, how it is responding back for us. Okay, all those things you start think of it. Okay, and just try to observe the applications, how they are behaving, how you guys are calling the services, how they are making use of different APIs in that particular application. Just start thinking in that way. Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? Do you need to ask me any question? This is just a basic information on API testing course and APIs. Okay. From
Ma'am,
tomorrow. Hmm.
for
Yes.
automation, which tool you are using, like that ED ID, like it's
Uh,
Postman or other which tool for
no, no.
automation work?
For the automation, we are using a IDE Eclipse.
Okay,
Okay. Eclipse is a IDE, Java is the language, and Rust Assured is the library.
and ma'am, for the practice, like for the API, like you share anything like which is like connect with the database, so we can
Mm.
practice and understand easily.
Means
Is
you
there?
mean database scenario is
Yeah,
asking?
yes. Suppose
Yeah.
I need to practice, so you share me some API. So for that one, we
Mhm.
can check to that add, delete, update, and it should be
Yeah.
verified to the database.
Yeah, I can
So
understand that. So, yeah. So what happens is, what are the APIs we are using right now? We will be not having a database connectivity. For example, if you take a Postman API or
yeah,
GitHub APIs, obviously we don't have a database of those applications. Okay. So when database things works means we have to create our own dummy application. Okay, we need to take that services, and then we need to have a DB that is connecting with that application. Then we can yes, we can execute that services to see whether whatever we are creating it here, that information is going there or storing or not. That check we can do that, Sohil. Okay, and that is quite easy only, Sohil. Just
okay.
to but okay,
No,
easy only.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Harshil. Can I ask one thing?
Yes, yes, yeah.
As an API tester, I need to know SQL database also, or no need?
No need. See, that's what. Okay. Like it depends, guys. So all the organization will not be having a single person to handle the end-to-end complete things. Okay, means some organization will be giving you to handle API testing as well as just to check that information in the database. That is nothing. See what you Suil was asking is, for example, this is just observe that this is your Postman tool. You are executing some service, you're creating some service maybe, and let me open the Postman. Okay. Okay. So just assume that this is, this is one service that I am, executing. Okay. Whenever I'm executing this service, I will get a successful response. Okay. See, 200 means it's a successful response and the status is success and it is created successfully. The message it is giving us successfully record has been added. Okay. So it is telling that in the postman we are getting a response from this service like successfully it is record has been created. Then it's, then what we have to do here, we have got a successful response, but the same thing should be available in our database as well, right? Our record has to available in database. So what we will do, we open the DB and again we search for the particular table whether the record is available or not. That's it. That's what the check Sushil was asking. Okay. But
Okay, okay.
it's not like, I mean to say, it's not every organization will be giving a only single engineer to handle the complete things. Okay, it
Okay.
depends. But database check and all is not much worry. Okay, it's easy only.
Okay, so as a if I will search a job after the completion of training as a API testing, okay,
Mhm.
so I need to know the total entire core Java in the deep way, or we need to clear only OOPS concept.
No, yeah, here I given no list like all the core Java concepts like variables, data types, because
Okay,
see hoops concepts means in this you have a some important concepts like how you can dynamically much more dynamically handle your framework, like how to define the classes, object, how to make use of a inheritance concept, how to make use of a polymorphism, so how to make use of you know other concepts whatever we have, interfaces, all those comes under this, right? Abstraction. So by using those concepts we can achieve more dynamically, okay, an object oriented way, right? So that is what you learn in the hoops. Apart from that, these are all the basics of the Java, which is very common. Each and if we are working, if we are learning any of the language, these basic information is much very much required. This is very basic information, like how to define the variable. Without a variable, how you will store some information, right? So you should
okay, okay,
know how to define the variable. And data type, what it defines, see, variable means like to store something we need one container, that is nothing but variable. Okay. And after that, data type means in that container what type of value you are storing, whether it is a string, whether it is a integer, whether it is a boolean, or what type of information you're storing in that. That defines the data type. Array means storing a multiple values, how you can handle the multiple values in a single variable. Okay, means today online session is a one variable. In the online session I need to store all of your information, because almost around 16 to 20 members are there. I don't want to create a multiple variables for the 20 members. Okay,
okay,
I just want to create a one variable and I have to store all the information into that variable. That comes under the array. Access modifier, already I have told you guys, visibility of class, method, and variable that you are creating. What is the visibility of that particular variable, what is the visibility of that particular method, what is the visibility of that particular class? That is what access modifier talks about. Operation means you guys know how adding something, deleting something, divisioning something, and etc. Oops is a pillar of the Java. You should know this to dynamically create your classes and all. Okay. And collections also, to overcome the issue that you are facing in the array concept, you are working with the collections here. Okay. Exception handling means your program should not stop abruptly. Okay, you need to handle that in such a way that it should not stop abruptly. For that, you have to make use of a exception handling. Okay, so these are the very basic and very much important. This you guys know means that is more than enough. In YouTube, Java sir video, Durga sir videos is also available on Java, which is very uh, clear on each and every subject and very depth. Okay, so you can go through that. That is also very good if you are a very beginner.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Madam, is it possible to post that link, DurgaSoft link, regarding the Java,
Java.
or should I search it? Or
Yeah. You just if you search Java Durga sir or Durga soft
okay,
something, you will get
okay,
that. Okay.
okay. Madam, one more question. In order to, uh,
Huh.
it is in addition to Sushil question. So I think
Okay.
his question was, see, he want to know the list of examples so that he can exercise all the APIs. Because if you know only create and delete, right, it won't be
Uh-huh.
sufficient. I think he's asking, he want to know the list of APIs so that later post courses he can exercise with all those APIs. So
Uh-huh.
do we have sufficient APIs for us to practice?
Yes, Shukma. So whatever we are using, right,
Uh-huh.
that you can access anytime. Those are all real-time application, real-time APIs. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So that
okay,
will
fine.
be available. That will not mean my control and all. It's a real-time application APIs only will be using. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay. And when we test the application using UI,
Mm-hmm.
then really do we need to test using API? Because anyway, UI will cover
Mm-hmm.
API also internally. Whenever UI fails, of course, if there is any failure in API, then
Mm-hmm.
UI will also fail. Then why do we
Yeah.
need to have API testing separately or independently?
Okay, yeah, it's very good question. Okay, see, the thing is, obviously, okay, so nowadays, what's happening, whatever Shukumar is asking, like, we have already UI testing that anyhow it's covering all the basic functionality like a create, delete, so on. Okay, then why we need a these things like back end testing is required. Okay, so what you can do, right? So whatever the speed the back end testing is covering, that cannot be matched with the UI testing. We can't expect the result as we are getting in a APIs. Okay, so nowadays what's happening, guys, even in our organization we have implemented a framework for the UI automation, but we are unable to achieve our performance with that UI because it's taking a lot of time because there are many factors concerns, environment also concerns, multiple factors, or whenever we have a lot of test scripts, it's taking a huge time to execute and provide the result for us. Okay, so but when we are going with a service, that we will not face that issue. Okay, so it completely different with respect to the performance wise, we can achieve much more better in the service testing than in the UI. Okay, so most of the organization now what they are doing means anyhow application UI testing can't cover the backend activity whatever we can cover in the service testing. Okay, but service testing can cover both the front end testing and business logic testing and as well as a back end testing. Okay, I mean to say database testing, it can cover, it has a power to cover all the end to end level of testing. So that's the reason. The one more thing that nowadays the API testing is demanding. So how they are thinking is why the organization demanding to candidate to have a API knowledge means in the worst case. So what they will do, they have to cut down their efforts, right? They have to reduce their efforts in order to achieve, in order to expand their business things and all, right? So what they will do, if someone knows the back end testing, if someone knows the API testing, they could able to achieve that both the UI part as well as a database part and as well as a backend testing part. Okay, because backend testing has that power to cover the front end testing as well. Okay, we can do this. Most of the organization now they already started using in that way. They are completely moving from the Selenium and they are trying to adopt the API only for both the front end as well as in the back end testing as well. Okay, so this is also the thing, this is also one reason. And we can't compare the response speed of the what when we do in the service testing and when we do in the UI testing. Okay, it's completely different. So we can expect high performance with the service testing. We can get a much result much earlier when compared to UI testing. Okay.
Okay, madam. Just to distinguish here.
Mm-hmm.
So what you are saying is API testing is it different from service testing?
No, 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 no. Same. Okay. I'm just using a multiple terminologies.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
So backend testing, API testing, service testing, all we can call it the same.
Okay, but API testing doesn't substantiate the UI testing, right? Anyway, that is altogether different, right? Or what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is if I do API testing, so
No, no.
UI is
API
sufficient.
testing, yeah, can cover front end testing as well. Okay. Can cover front end testing. See, for example, you have an application where you have to enter your first name, last name, your address, your zip code, and your all the other information, and you have to go into the next page. Okay, those things can also be covered through the API testing. Okay, maybe
Okay,
to look
okay.
and feel, to see that you have to look it, check into the UI. Apart from that, whatever you enter and you proceed for the next page, that part is also be covered in the APIs. Okay,
Okay, okay.
so means API has that power to make you than the selenium. I mean to say API has that power to overcome from the selenium. We can use whatever achieve in the selenium, right? In the API also we can achieve API testing.
We can
So
achieve
most
it
of the
much faster.
organization, yes, yes, much faster. So most of the organization, guys, actually, I actually we should not obviously we should not degrade our selenium, okay? Because but the thing is that is the fact, okay? Most of the organization now they are moving towards the API testing because of this reason, okay? From the selenium, they're converting their framework to the completely service testing because it has that power to handle both the UI part as well as backend processing part as well. So that's why most of the organization are jumping towards the API framework only. Okay.
Okay, madam. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Then anything else before winding up the session? Tomorrow we'll be having a demo. Maybe they have giving all the information in the chat, right? So you might have received other, maybe they will send you the different link to join the demo session. Demo is a 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. And what they're specifying. Yeah, 9 a.m. is a demo.
Today it was 10, right? Tomorrow it will be at 9 a.m., right?
Yes, yes. It's today is a Sunday, right? You guys will
Okay.
not join if we keep at 9 o'clock. That's the reason they have kept at 10 o'clock. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hi, hi,
A
Haman.
a project is also including.
Yes, yes, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Maybe you might have joined late, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Okay,
what
okay.
was his question? Madam?
Project is also include or not?
Okay. So how many days? Sorry, this is 45 days course, but daily how many hours we need to spend to learn this course, madam? Just wanted to.
Daily, yeah, 1 hour or somewhere here and there. It will extend like 1.5 sometime. Yeah. Usually we'll keep it for the 1 hour.
No, no, I mean to say how much hours we need to practice. I mean, 1 hour class is a theory class and your class, and then how much time generally it requires for us to practice. Let's say
Uh,
1 hour is
mhm.
sufficient every day, or
Yes,
how?
yes, that's yeah, that's up to you, Shikumar. Like I will be covering the scenarios here, and I will be giving you the assignment as well. And that's how you will learn in the session. Means if you have thoroughly understood everything in the session, then immediately you can go and you can practice whatever I given for that day. Or else they will be uploading the videos as well after the session, and you will get a videos access also. You can watch if you have any doubts and you can start working on. And believe me, I
Okay.
feel okay. You guys feel it easy after completing 1 week or 2 week of session. Because I feel you like this is meant to say. It's very easy. API testing is very easy than Selenium. Just you should have some core Java concepts in your mind and the basics of API in order to understand the documentation part. Like once we start working on the Postman API, we should understand the documentation of the Postman in order to work with the Postman API. So if we can go here, here in the Postman also they are given all the Postman APIs.
Your screen not visible.
Is it okay?
Hi, ma'am. I have
Mm,
one
now
question.
it's visible. Yeah. See here, this is all the Postman APIs. Okay. I want to create a workspace in the tool. See, this is we have a CRUD operation. Get all workspace, delete workspace, get a workspace, create a workspace. I have to take this API and I should learn this first. Understanding of document. What is a domain name? What is the endpoint here? What it is requesting us to pass as body? What is requesting as a mandatory parameter? What it is requesting as an optional parameter? And what is the authentication type they are using here? How we need to pass the body, how we need to what are the information needs to be added in the request, what are the information needs to get in the response, like this. Okay, we have to first learn of understanding of a document. If you are thoroughly understand the document, if you got that idea, then half of the job is done. Okay, then you have to concentrate on how to understand the concepts and all. Okay. Yes, I think Anand, right? Yes, Anand, tell me.
Yeah. After completing this course, how much experience I can show in a resume, like
Uh-huh.
for API testing?
Yes, means how much of experience you have, no?
Approx 6 years I have in UI testing,
Mm-hmm.
manual and select.
Okay. Yeah, see, you can show, how comfortable after learning, just, how comfortable you are in using all the APIs concept. You just compare your, strength. Okay. So basically, here I'm covering all from basics to the advanced. Okay. You can keep 2 year, you can keep 3 year, even a 4 year is also not a problem because this is what everyone work on in a real time as well. Okay, like even the freshers also work on the same, even experienced guy also will work on the same. Okay, but how much comfortable, how much confident you are in using all the concepts. Okay, and you have to practice on once we are starting the course. Then you have to compare your confidence with the experience that you are showing as an IPA test engineer. But I will be covering whatever we use in real time, all the things I am going to cover here.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question. Like, daily basis, whatever we get the video and any content like that, what you are writing just now, you're writing something. So the like that, we get the daily basis content for reference.
Uh, this one.
Yes, daily basis.
Basically, notes we want to
Yeah,
Okay,
use.
notes.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
notes.
So daily, daily I will be explaining, right? So whatever I will explain, if you guys want that page means I will upload in the drive, and everything will be recorded in the video as well. Okay.
No, I think another question is that notes is sufficient to refer in future? I know like video will be available, but we cannot go back to video and then watch everything for
Yeah,
small
it's
things
taking
also.
time. It's
Yes.
taking time,
Okay.
right?
So
Okay, notes part you're asking.
Yes.
Yes, 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 that is enough. Whatever the notes I will also provide, right? That is also enough. I will pass the postman related to postman. I will pass one document. That is everything covered in that. Okay. And
Okay.
with
Okay.
respect to rest assured also, I will anyhow all the code, all the things I will pass into the GitHub. That is also sufficient.
Yeah. The reason, see, like I attended Python in DurgaSoft.
Okay.
So he provided me the everyday notes, what he has
Okay.
executed and a program list, everything here it was
Hmm.
provided,
To the Git.
so that we can refer it for us
Mm-hmm.
instead of we going back to the video again and again, which is a time consuming. So it
Okay.
is as good as notebook for us to refer.
Mhm. Okay. Yes, yes, yeah. I will also be upload all the notes in the drive. Okay.
Okay, that would be good.
Oh,
Okay. Anything else, guys, before winding up the session?
do you have any other timing like morning, early morning?
Your batch is for 7 a.m. only, guys. Okay. Only for demo. The thing is, I will not be available in the next week. Okay. I can just take up your demo at 9 a.m. only. I will be available by that time. So that's why they kept at 9 a.m. only demo sessions. Okay. But your batch is already a batch is there for the 7 a.m. For we are combining your batch with them. We're all enrolling. So, like, your batch is for the 7 a.m. session. Okay. In regular sessions will be 7 a.m. Only demo will be 9 a.m. The demo will be maybe up to Wednesday or Thursday, maximum of 3 to 4 days. Okay. After that, overall will enroll from Monday. Again, we will start, actual session at 7 a.m.
7 a.m. is running batch or this is new from first day?
No, that is also new batch.
Okay, this is new batch, right?
Yes, yes, new batch.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
No, I think his question is, but 7 a.m. batch is already much ahead than this batch. So is it going to work to merge the both batches or
No, it's not like that. Just a previous week we have started the 7 a.m. batch, and it's like we are adding your batch with them. Okay, they kept on hold. We are not started anything
oh,
for them.
okay,
Okay,
okay, fine.
since I am not available right at the 7 a.m. So that's why we kept on hold. Then we are adding your batch with them. Okay.
Okay,
So this is not like a regular sessions will not be a 9 a.m. The regular session will be a 7 a.m. Only demo, only for the demo, it's 9 a.m.
okay.
Okay, you will cover the core Java topic also, or we need to learn from our side from today?
No, you just have to go through that CoreJava topics. I will just give a brush up on those things before jumping into the automation.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Initially, with the API testing with manual, so how much time it will take? 10 to 15 days?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, then have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.